All right, guys. So for the next one, we have a character that has a little cup that we may want to attach to this character so that she can take a sip every few minutes or so. Um, so the first thing we need to do is I either model out a cup or you can import a cup in, but we've got that in there. And let me just do some quick. So all we need to do is a couple of things. One, we are going to, let's change to our perspective, not our movie cam, because we always want to work in our perspective, but then look at our shots in the movie cam. So you can see right now, let's turn on this character, and this actually might be one where it's already attached. So let's turn on her body controls. Let me just see. Yes, okay, perfect. So what I need to do is I want to have two versions of this cup, and we'll see why in a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cup and I'm going to duplicate it and just put one aside for a second. And we'll call this one cup unattached. And this one we'll just call, we'll just go in, let's freeze transformations, delete history. I'm doing this before I attach it, and I'm going to call this one cup underscore attached. That'll make it a lot easier when I'm inside of my scene. There's cup attached and cup unattached. So we have both of those, and they're somewhat easy to find right now. Okay. So to attach this cup, I could parent it to the wrist, but I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. Okay, so I'm going to take this cup and I'm temporarily just going to move it up away from everything and focus on it. And I'm going to go to a front view and press F, and there it is. Okay, so here's my little cup and a camera floating up here for some reason. We'll ignore that for right now. And what I want to do is I want to go to my rigging tab, my rigging shelf, and the second icon is create a joint. Now to do this, we're temporarily going to show the joints. Remember, we usually have the joints hidden, and this time we're going to actually show them. So I'm going to say show joints, otherwise when I make one I can't find it. And I'm just going to click on this joint tool. It's a create a joint tool, and I'm just going to click, boom, right there. Let's press 4, and there's my joint, and I'm going to press enter. Now when I go to perspective mode, you're going to notice the joint's not in there, and that's because the joint is where my 0 coordinates, where my cup isn't. Okay, so yeah, it's a little hard to see. So I'm just going to move that joint to wherever my cup is. Press F, and I want to make sure that yes, it is basically inside of the cup. Let me option B. There we go. That makes it a little bit easier. So you can see I've got my cup and I've got the joint in here. Okay. And my joint, I'm just going to call it cup underscore joint. Okay. Just like that. So we've got the cup attached. We have the cup joint. This little guy is what we are going to do to how we're going to attach it to the hand. So I'm going to, well, let's just do that. So I have the joint selected. I'm going to shift select the cup. And I'm temporarily going to go to my rigging menu. And in the rigging menu, we go to skin, bind. And what that does is that now binds that you see I can select the cup, but I can't move the cup. But if I select the joint, the cup moves with it. Okay. So we won't be animating the cup. You'll notice I can't move the cup. The cup is bound to the joint, just like if we had rigged it as a body. And that's how I know, oh, I just drag select and it grabs the cup joint. Okay. Now that I've got that cup joint, I can bring it back down. And I'm going to bring it to her hands. Now what you're going to notice here is that the joints on her hands are ginormous. Okay. So I'm going to go to joint, or excuse me, to display, animation, joint size. And let's just turn the overall joints down smaller so we can see them. Now this one joint here, you notice got really dinky. And that can be a little bit difficult. And every time I change this, it changes like globally all of them, right? I just want it so I can see them, but they're much smaller. And let's increase the radius of just that joint. You see that? So this will make it a little bit easier for me to see. So I grabbed it in the channel box with that joint selected. Now you notice it's not increasing the size of all of them, it's just increasing the size of the joint in the cup. So now I want to parent this not to the wrist, but to the palm. And you can see that's where a cluster in the hand of joints are. So here's how we do it. Remember, it's always child to the parent. So I select the child, the joint, and then I'm going to get up close and shift click on the palm joint right there. And then I press the letter P. And what that does, you notice, is it makes a bone that goes to it. And what should happen now is whenever I take that hand and move it, you notice the cup follows. Now that I have it attached, oops, let's hide. For some reason the IK handles are showing. We don't need those. I'm going to grab that joint and I'm going to move the cup into the position that it's supposed to be in, like so. I've already moved, and if I didn't, I'd do it right now. Move, select this little circle. Oops. Jinkies. There we go. And move the fingers, remember, into place. That's how you grab the fingers. You either grab a bunch of them, left mouse drag, and then you can middle mouse. And you position this so that it is holding that cup properly. And then all we have to do now, it's like, okay, she's going there. Now what's ultimately going to happen is we are going to be controlling the visibility of that off and on, and that's why we made it duplicate. But that's how you attach it. So the last thing, we'll have one more video, and that's just how to do a pickup. So imagine that the cup is on the ground, on the table, and then the character is going to go over and pick that cup up, and we'll do a switcheroo, but that's in the next video. But this is how you attach that. So recap, we created a joint, we bound it to the model, and then we parented child to the palm with the joints on so we can see them. And we select the child, then the parent, and press the letter P. And that's how you attach them. So the next video, which will be the last one, really quick on this, is just how to do the switcheroo.